What's up, guys? It's Tom Diesel here. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Yesterday, we had an excellent weekend mentoring session. If you haven't checked it out yet, go back and read the questions. I've seen some really great questions there yesterday. A ton of good information that you can get from. Go back and read that if you haven't. Today I'm gonna go over, one of the topic that I think it's very important as well, because that's what we are trying to achieve, daily as traders. Which the topic is about how to reach the next level in trading. And I have written down here the key points. I want to show it to you guys. Yeah, so this is my key point. So I'm gonna go over this, one by one. And this trading is hard, right? Like all of us know that. And there's a lot of hard work, countless hours that you're putting on. And like for myself, it's like I'm trading every day. After that, I'm doing I'm recording my trades. I went back to my charts and see what I did wrong and right there. And like always trying to improve daily, right? Because what I'm trying to do is I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to get the next level. Like whatever the level that might be for you. Everyone is different. But we always trying to push ourselves to get better each day, right? To get the next level. I mean, would it be, I don't know, like one or two or 10 or like 1,000? I don't know. Just the level. Everyone is different, but we always trying to push our limits, to test our limits. And in this case, it could be size, could be, I don't know, better executions. Yeah. So I'm gonna go over everything in here, and hope you guys can take some good lessons from this, and try to improve your game. So how to reach the next level in trading? First of all, you need to have a consistency, right? I mean, whatever the level that might be, if you don't have consistency, you have nothing to build from. And this is basically what I'm trying to preach daily. I I've been talking about this really a lot. And but if you don't have consistency, you really have nothing to build from. And it's like when you open business, you don't have a product to sell yet, and you don't know which product will sell. So this is pretty key component. And in able to get a consistency, this is this topic has been talked about in MIC as well. I've done the videos on that, how to become a CPT, part one, part three, and part one, part two, and part three. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check that. But consistency, what I meant is you uh, choose the one strategy that you think makes most sense to you, and then you kind of work on that on a daily basis, right? And you need to collect samples of, I don't know, like 100 or 200 or 500 trades, based on that outcome, and then you choose the one that makes the most sense to you, and you keep repeating that daily, day in and day out, right? Don't worry about money yet. Be as it, if you can make 10, $20 daily, like a month or two, prove to yourself that you can do that consistently on that certain strategy or edge, and prove that to yourself. Build a playbook, the edge, whatever you want to call it. But that's the consistency, right? And once you got that, you got something to build from. And so that's the most important thing, uh, I think, in this is how you get to the next level. You need to have that first, and then you can work from there to kind of trying to improve, to trying to push it, trying to put more size on. That's how you get to the next level, right? Could be money wise. I don't know. It's but if you don't have consistency, you have really nothing to build from. So if you still haven't got that, go back and watch the videos and trying to achieve the consistency first. All right. So the second point here is a routine. The psychology strange. Uh, the A routine is something that you've been doing that on a daily basis, right? You're waking up every morning. I don't know, like for me, for myself, I've been waking up every morning 16, 4 or 5 a.m. Same as Alex. Trying to spend all morning to do research. Um, uh, you know, to go back into my chart and see what's moving, and then that. So that's basically my process, right? The routine that um, I can do that consistently on the daily basis, and a routine is really important. You don't want to change your routine. You really don't want to kind of mix it up with something else. It's like your routine is waking up every morning early, doing the same research, finding the same stock that makes sense to you. It doesn't make sense, move on to the next one. I mean, it's something that we need that on a daily basis. I mean, a good sleep, you know, and trying to get your mind or like your physical stuff ready before the open, right? And so that's like everything's in routine. And psychology strength, you, like, you need to know, it's like what setup you're gonna like, or what setup you know that being working for you. And so when you in a trade, you will have less emotions, right? I mean, it's like when you see your setup, it's there. You just going to trade it without any emotions involved. You basically just trading the chart, and not because you are too excited, to get in a trade, and then you got FOMO, you got everything going on. It's more like a routine, and in a boring way. Like I love boring trading because I know exactly what I'm looking for, and if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to trade. I have absolutely no emotions involved. The time when I'm excited, the time when I have emotions, in my in my trading, I usually don't perform that well, and usually end up to be those losses that we experience in trading. And so you want to like to focus on that, emphasize on that, and try to make a routine, and try to make trading as stress free as possible. The third part here is proper sizing. Proper sizing, I've been doing a video on that, how to size into stocks. You have to kind of uh, do it systematically, right? Based on your account. you know I explained, 1 or 2% on per trade. And so you have to decide the range on the stocks. use the lines, whatever you want to use. If you have tracked your setup or if you have tracked your strategy, you probably would know, which line will work better. And based on that, you calculate your size and based on your account, of course, right? And you um, you size up when your account allows you to do so. Uh, it's more like, it should be really natural. Like you shouldn't feel it, um, and that's what I've been doing. I mean, as my account grows, I can put more risk on, thus more size. There's no other way. If you try to push it, probably you're gonna have tons of emotions involved and everything, and it will cause you not to perform well. And of course, the risk management here, that's what I've been talking about. You need to really pay close attention to that. When it comes to sizing, you need to have a consistency, you need to have an edge for you to be able to know where to size up and how much you want to size up, right? How many shares you want to put on in certain trades. So you have to kind of track the setup yourself, A plus, B plus, C plus, or whatever, and try to take advantage of that. But you know, properly, like systematically, based on your account. Like you cannot afford to lose, what you don't have, right? You don't want to be, you don't want your trading to be in a gamble state. You're trying to uh, trade as a stress free as possible without any like emotions involved. And so that's one of those things that you really don't want to focus on a P&L too much. And if you're sizing up too big and you saw and you see your P&Ls or like the numbers are really not what you expect, and it will cause you to make poor decisions. And so proper sizing, risk management, yeah, risk management, it's what we've been preaching daily, like everyone here. Like you could have, I don't know, 1,000 days in green, right? But if you can handle one day, you're not going to be able to make it, or like you have been great streak for like a month or two, and then one day wipes out everything, right? So it really doesn't make sense. So try to do proper sizing, less risk, and less drawdown. You know, I've been focusing on that, a lot, and I just really don't want to have a big drawdown in my account, because if I have that, I would not be mentally stable, to make the right decision in the day. So that's why what I did mostly recently is I try to keep my losses really small, and and I really don't want to, you know, kind of go back and revenge trading after that, because this job is really about, it's not about one day, it's not about one trade, right? You have the whole career in front of you. Like you trying to do this job for the rest of your life, right? It could be, I don't know, like 20, 30 years, 40 years. It's just not about one day or one single setup. One trade will not make you as a trader, but the good traders are the one that good with taking the losses. That's what I've been hearing. I mean, that's what's going to define who you are as a trader, is how you handle those losses compared to, I mean, when winning, everything is easy. Like, when you're up on the day, you feel great, right? You don't have any emotions. Like you have, cushions, in your head. I mean, it's all fine. But when you took a loss, that's really, man, like, it's like really hard for you to be able to stay sharp right after that. So that's why I try to minimize it to the most, and um, and I just don't want my account to experience any big drawdowns, and which would destroy my mental game in trading. So yeah, so less risk and less drawdown. And the next one is the stock selections, right? And like like what I've been talking about here. Yeah, and one of the quote that I read in One Good Trade from Mike Bellafiore is the one like, you are only as good as the stocks that you trade, right? So the stock selections is the key. mm, and of course that's comes with your strategy and your edge, right? A plus setup, C, B, I don't know, whatever your setup might be, but you are only as good at the stocks that you trade. So you make sure you have some sort of data back tested, you have some where like you have somewhere like a group of samples, um, and then you like basically, like for me, I'm only shorting small caps, right? I don't deviate from that. I don't have any edge shorting large caps. I don't have any edge shorting the market cap over 200 million, right? Or the short flow over 50 million, something like that. So that's usually are my uh, criteria to choose the stocks that I'm interested in. And stocks needs to have a volume, right? Stocks needs to be in the momentum. So this is like more strategy wise, how you choose that. But it's very important, because if you know what you're looking for, and you will not deviate that. I mean, I've seen a lot of traders coming to the day, right, and it's been slow, and they have they haven't seen anything moving yet, so they're trying to you know trade everything, or like they're trying to trade large caps. All right, this one is moving up. Let me trade this one, but that's not their edge, right? You need to define um, what you're good at, and and choose the one that makes the most sense to you based on that. So yeah, and the next point is accepting the loss. This is the key. Like, I just literally talking about this. The good traders are the one that good with taking losses. They are really good at that, because it it enable them to, it's like uh they trying to take a loss with ease. I mean, they look at the loss as they accepting the defeat, right? They have when they have a losing trade, they don't think about it too much. I mean, it's either that or that, right? All right, so I'm in a trade, I got stop out. Okay, I admit it, I'm wrong. Market, Mr. Market, you're right. I mean, there's no argument here, there's no ego here, nothing else. And which enable them to quickly adapt to the market environment. And they don't have anything against the market, right? They don't have anything uh, you know um, that they trying to argue, or like ego against that trade. Simply, they get in a trade. If wrong, they cut it. No hard feelings. That's it. I mean, are those are the best traders usually, because is the ability to accept the loss. I mean, there's a lot of traders that refusing to accept that. I mean, refusing to accept the defeat. That's why they're trying to get back in the trade, and they're trying to revenge it. They're trying to make it back, because they think I'm right, right? You are wrong, market. I'm gonna show you what's is what's what's really should be done here. But those are the traders that will, likely blow up, at some point because of their ego. And so the good traders that I've seen, they are really good at, accepting the loss, and they embrace the loss. They use the loss as a lesson. They use that loss to learn to be better trader next time. That's um, been talking about this. The winners, will not define who you are as a trader, but the losers, I mean the losses, will define who you are. You won't see the true you when you win, but when you lose, you gonna see, the real you in trading. How you be able to handle the loss will define who you are as a trader. And so uh, try to really pay close attention to that. Really pay close to the losses, and just pre-planning your trades. Accept it beforehand, before you even enter the trade. Know where you're gonna get in, know where you're gonna get out. No hard feelings. Accept the fact that you are going to lose this and that much in a single trade, and that will help you to stay focused, will help you to stay, flexible during the trade. Like, no surprises at all. I mean, it's, I'm gonna get in here. If it gets here, I'm gonna stop out. And that's what we been talking about in Austin webinar on Thursday. You need to have, some sort of ultimate stop. Is to the point where it's the trade is no longer valid, right? And you need to accept that. Okay, so that's about the loss. And the next one is trade with less stress. Nail and bell mentality. Um, I've been trying to trade really, or like I like a boring trading. I like when I like to find a trade that I know that it's gonna work for me. Like, yeah, of course, it's nothing is 100%, right? Nothing is is sure in trading, but we trying to find the one with the most edge. It's just like, this is the all the game of probabilities. It's all guesstimate, but trying to find a trade that with the most edge on your side, right? So as example, that what we've been doing daily, like anticipation, versus confirmation, right? Like on a stock, if you really want to short it, wait for the backside. That's, stress free basically. If you wait for the stock to break a certain major support or a certain level on the view app and everything, you short back on that bounce, risking really tiny. uh, and it usually, those are the stress free trade, right? But as traders, we are so eager to get in, and especially in the first 15 minutes when the market opens, and our head is, exploded. I mean, it's like, you see like so many stocks moving in the first 10 minutes, and cause you to get overwhelmed and cause you to want to get in a trade right away. And you've seen people posting chart and everything. All right, man, it's like uh, they've been getting good, with this. Yeah, Tom shorted some here. Alex did some there. James got some as well. What should I do now? Should I chase? And then causing you FOMO. So ignore all that. Focus on your game, right? And that's what I've been trying to do recently. Uh, I'm trying to find the trade that makes most sense to me, and the trade with where when I'm getting, I don't feel any, like emotion attached to that. It's more trade with less stress. And also like Bear Style, you've seen him lately. He's been trying to trade basically, backside, or wait for the stock to to break certain. I mean, if you shorting a broken stocks, that's so much easier, right? The move is done, and now it pops back, and you're gonna short that. I mean, no need to guess the front side when the stock is still hot, when the stock is has tons of demands, from the market. It's like people are buying it, and hot chick of the day. Try to wait for it, and try to be patient, try to be disciplined. And the second part here is the nail and bell mentality. I mean, it really depends on what strategy is, but we try, or like what we've been trying to do here is we're trying to get in and get out, and be done with it for the rest of the day. And as you've seen, I've been holding some for the last month as well. I've been trying to get the move right. I cover some, and then I leave some, just in case it drops more. But you have to um, kind of define that strategy for yourself as well. And what I've been trying to do is I try to get the meat of the move. Um, like, of course, I have to wait. When the stock is really weak. On a few hours, like true backside is on, and I try to kind of recycle that, and of course leave the rest for the home runs. But always keep in mind, risk management here is everything. If you want to get bigger move, but don't ever forget about the part that what if it goes against me after that, right? So you better, or what I think personally is good, pay yourself along the way, right? Leave the rest, or leave, I don't know, small, whatever you want to do. Leave the small for better reward later on. But that's totally up to you. So that's what I've been saying daily. Take what process gives, or like this is what Bao's been saying daily. Uh, when when I stuck to my process, I've I've been doing very well. So take what the process gives you, right? When I choose my line, stocks hits my line, drop, hits my target as well. Try to cover most or cover some, and leave the rest, whatever it might be. But set the rest for break even. But take the money when the market is giving you the money. Take the money, and that's the key here. And a lot of people have been like greedy, and they trying to hold it for a bigger move, but then stock end up like bouncing back, and causing a winning trade to become like a break even trade, or even a losing trade. And after that, they feel furious, and they try to fight back, and revenge trading, and usually never end up well. So like as I said, I'm trying to trade with less stress, nail and bell mentality, and pay yourself along the way. If the stock is going in your favor, pay yourself. Cover some, leave some if you want, but always pay yourself along the way. Always take the profit, whatever that may be. Small or big, I don't care, but pay yourself, and then you can leave the rest for the break even. Basically after that point is stress free trade, right? You don't have to worry about anything. Either you're gonna win more money, or either it's gonna be just that small amount. But it's not like you gonna cause the trade from the winning ones to the losing ones, right? So, and the last one here, but not least, on how to reach the next level, it's focus more on risk and reward, right? The risk and reward here is exactly what I've been talking about. When you in a trade, you get to a certain level, pay yourself along the way, right? I mean, yes, you should have some certain risk reward in mind, be that 1 to 1 or 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. But when it reaches to that point, always cover some and then leave some just in case you might be able to get that 5 to 1, 6 to 1, or 10 to 1, right? And try to focus on that more, but always, stick to the risk management. Don't 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 be like a lot of traders I've been seeing, and they always good at adding two losers, right? And when the stock is go like when the stock is going against them, they usually have the full size. But when the stock, it's going in their favor, they have really, the minimal size, or like they try like they couldn't handle the emotion part. Like, all right, I'm up now, and I have to cover right away. But then they end up like left so much on the table on that, and so try to focus on that more. Like, it doesn't have to be adding on the way up, but you can always add back when the trade is working for you. And how to do that, go back and watch the videos that we did adding to winner, right? You need, for the stock to show its cards for you to be able to add more size on, or like, until the stock gives you the confirmations, you can add more. And those trying to get more, profit out of that trade. But if you don't have an edge, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't track your setup, you will not know how to do that, right? So that's what I've been saying. Consistency, stock selections, you need to go over them day in and day out. That's what I've been that's what I've been trying to do every day. I've went back to my charts, I look at my executions, and to see where I can improve, right, the next time. Like, if you been uh, doing that for, I don't know, for like 1,000 trades, 2,000 trades, 3,000, I don't know, if you look at those charts, you will see the commonalities. But if you don't track those, if you don't have the samples to look at, you will not know what you're looking for. So uh, I've been so that's focus on the risk reward more. Don't try to, or like just don't add to your losers. And when the trade is working in your favor, don't try to cover too early. But on that, you really need to define what you're really looking for and what your strategy is to be able to get the more risk and reward out of that trade, because this is the key here. This is how you will be able to grow your account, right? This is where the most traders are struggling with. It's like they have really small winning days, but when they're losing, usually wipes out everything they got, or like they slowly bleeding the account because they didn't focus on the real risk reward and the balance here. I mean, the green days don't grow the accounts, the red days don't kill the accounts, but the balance does. So keep that in mind. And uh, the only way for you to be able to grow the account is to have a consistency, to have an edge, and try to exploit that edge, to the fullest. But if you don't have that, you really don't know what you're looking for anyway. So that's why you afraid when kind of the stock is going in your favor. You're afraid that you're gonna lose this and that much, and it forces you to cover quickly. And when you're down, you're trying to add more to those losers because you're trying to guess, you're trying to predict the move that, all right, it's going up, this gotta be the top. But It never does, right? You know, and so yeah, guys, focus on that. So this is basically all the key points here is how you can reach to the next level. um, I think, I mean, there's really nothing new about this, but I just wanted to, type it out for you guys to see it, and so you can have, the bullets, also you can have somewhere written down, and you can focus on those more. And this is this is what to do, right? Or how you can reach to the next level. The second part here is what not to do, right? I've been talking about this as well. Holding to losing positions. Don't do that. Adding to loser. Don't do that. The only reason why traders doing that because they have the ego, right? They're not accepting the loss. They're not accepting the defeat. The idea is good. My idea is gold. I'm not wrong here. They don't admit that they're wrong, right? But that's the key thing for traders. You need to admit that you're wrong. Like, you have to admit that you know absolutely nothing, right? Like when you like once you accept that fact, the trading becomes so much more easier. The fact that you don't know nothing, the fact that anything could happen, it caused you to have a plan. It caused you to have a hard stop, right? But with the fact that I know everything about this, I'm so right, on 100, like on 100% that this trade is going to work, in my favor. That's how the ego will get in and probably gonna destroy them. And that's what people are blowing up their account, because the ego is too big. So that's simple, guys. So do not hold to a losing position, adding to a loser. Don't fight the trend. You know, trend is your friend. That's what I've been talking about in my view app video. Overview app, longs are in control. Underview app, shorts are in control. Follow the trend. Don't fight it. I don't care how good you are, but if you fight the trend, probably you're gonna get some ugly results out of that, right? I mean, you could be right here and there, but the time when you're wrong, you're gonna be really, really wrong. So don't fight the trend, guys. Um, and the key part here is no hard stops and daily max, right? Well, like mental stop. You not um, you are not as good as you think you are. So accept that fact. Put a hard stops on every time. Every time when you're making a trade. This is like Alex said, your seatbelt, your airbags in trading, and this is how you're gonna um, stop out, stubborn trading when you hitting, a point where you're not yourself anymore, right? After a losing trade, we usually like our mind, like we are usually mentally broken after that. And so if you can handle that, that's where the daily max comes in and it's gonna save you. So, and the hard stop is, you know, will stop you out from the teleport candle, whatever that might be. Instead of $100 like dollar loss, it could turn out to be, 1,000 or 2,000 losses, right? Uh, so have that, always, guys. I've been talking about this to the members a lot. Always have a hard stops when you get in, right before you get in a trade. Like right before. Once my fantasy hit, I put my hard stop in, no matter what. I don't care. Either it's gonna stop me out or it's gonna work in my favor. I have absolutely no emotions in that. If it's gonna stop me out, I accept the defeat. No problem. Move on to the next one. Find the next one. That simple. Daily max, your airbags. Uh, this is the amount that you should willing to risk max on the daily. It's like if you lose this much, on the day, you're gonna call it a day, and come back tomorrow, start fresh, live to fight another day, guys. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon, and you trying to stay in this game for as long as you could, and eventually you might be able to get there. But if you can stay in the game, how can you get there, right? So this is your airbags. This is gonna save you, like daily. This is gonna save you from blowing up and everything. So contact your brokers and set that with them. And last but not least, I mean, this this is the part where most of our trades are, you know, the the losing ones, right? This is where the losers are, when we trying to anticipate, when we trying to predict the move, once when we trying uh, to trade like we think it's gonna work, but it's really everything about this one. It's poor FOMO to me. And when you anticipating, when you trying to predict the move, that's usually is the FOMO one. And because you have no data to back test you, to back you up with this, because if you know what you're looking for, if you have the consistency, if you know the stock selections, right? Why the hell you would, still anticipate and predicting the move? This is poor FOMO to me. It's like when you fear of losing a trade, or like fear of missing out a trade, and you think, all right, let me guess the top here. This might be the top. Let me get in some, and then usually those trades will never end well. So try to avoid that, guys. You know, either it's gonna confirm you, either it's gonna give you some signals for you to get in. If not, so be it. Move on to the next one. You don't need to anticipate. You don't need to predict anything here. Just play the odds here. It's like when you in a casino, you playing blackjack. Wait, to bet when you have 20 or 21's hands, right? You don't want to bet on like on lesser hands, so it's like 15 or 16, right? Wait for the 20 or 21, or like 19. I don't know, but stop anticipating. Stop predicting the move, right? Wait for the confirmations. Wait for the signal to get in. All right, guys. So I hope this helps today. And if you still have any questions regarding about this, hit me up anytime. So have a good weekend, guys. I think today's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all Mothers Day in the world. And I see you guys on the next one. Take care.